tracks even more stout.
Good morning in the UK, good afternoon, good evening, wherever else you may be listening in from or watching in from. My name is Darian J. Welcome to my little studio. And it's Thursday morning here in lovely sunny Brighton, although it's not sunny yet because it's too early. And this morning we are going to be working on... let me bring up my Trello board, screen 2. Okay, this morning we're going to be working on the idea we started creating on Tuesday after the initial after the take of the last track. We started working on a new one yesterday. I finished off the bits and did a first take. Went quite well. My feedback on that, I thought the 303 stabs worked well. So rather than doing a complete continuous 303 line, using the Behringer TD3, not original 303, by the way, which are great. It's like £85-90. Considering the originals are now £1,500 plus. It's a no-brainer. Not quite as good as the original course, but it's damn close and it's good enough. Nobody dancing in a club is going to know the difference. So, what are you going to do? So rather than doing a full constant acid line like we've done with previous ideas, I've decided just to do little stabs, kind of like answer phrases to the main Rounds lead line. Now, Rounds is a reactor ensemble, part of the Native Instruments complete bundle. I think it's complete 12 now, maybe complete 13, I don't know. I think this is from complete 11 anyway. So the 303 stabs worked well, I thought. What didn't work, the drums felt a little bit tame. I'll show you what I mean in a second. They weren't quite punchy enough for me. So the options I wrote down before doing this morning's take, is to mix the drums before splurging. So let's just stop these clips. I've had a little listen before now, just to check everything still works. Okay, so 3-3 stabs. So here's the Rounds pattern. Still using the same sound as we've used for everything else. Okay, so the 303. There's some delay on it and a lot of reverb. So we just bring it in, create an answer phrase. If I had a bit more time and practice, I would have programmed the 303 pattern to kind of play what I'm feeding in and out. But yeah, who's got time to do that? So we're just going to mess around and see what works. The first take I did yesterday, I was quite pleased with. It kind of worked quite well. So this time I'm going to try and do maybe less of the 303 stabs and just let the Rounds part breathe. and use those as kind of answer phrases less often. Okay, so the drums. Let's just have a look at these drums and make sure they're okay. Is that okay now? Maybe we need to turn down the hat. Maybe it's a bit loud. Let's change the closed hat down a bit as well. The clap also is quite powerful, so let's bring that down. Make sure the swing's on, which is the control on the push. Sorry, I'm showing you the wrong screen here, so let's go back. Okay, so if you've got a push, there's the knob above metronome, that gives you swing. So to stop it being really straight, I tend to add about 30%, it seems to work quite well. But, you just try things out, see what happens. Okie doke. So, if you're watching, and make sure to say hello in the chat. Always good to know who's watching. Any questions, feel free to fire them over. Okay, so what are we going to start with? Now, when I was having a little play earlier beforehand, I kind of liked having the drums in to start with. Maybe leave the open hat out. I've also moved the sample drums controls. I've got the toms on a fader, which is good, so I bring those in and out. But I'm not going to start with the sample drums clip this time. I think I do like starting with the filtered kick, so I'll leave that on, I should say. Okay, so what else did I add? So we added a bass line. Stop everything. Let's play the kick with it, otherwise you're not going to know what it means. That's the bass. Toms. So I do love this effects send. Which you can hear fading there. That's going through. Outputs portal, which is a wicked effect, and I've got this XY control set up on my iPad for that. Woo! So let's just try that again. I'll take the kick off just so you can hear. That's it. Also going through Soundtoys effects rack. Let's get this, close this down. Effects rack. Oh, that's not even switched on. Huh. Weirdly. Oh, because I had those controls assigned to a MIDI control before. So let's try see what it sounds like now. So we've got some panning going on, extra echo, 2 echo plugins there. Let me move this across here so you can see it. Sorry. 2 echo plugins and the pan man. So that just messes up that even more. And what else we've got on here? So we've got Audio Damage Big Sec 2. God, I've had this for so long. I love this little thing. And this is also part of that channel. So let's send some stuff to it again. So we've got delay feedback, which is turn it down. That's what you're getting without it, and then turn it back up. Much more intense. Lots of controls. That's the delay time increasing. So lots going on there. And then a glue compressor, which is sidechained to the kick. And then also, that's all being fed back into the effects bus. So it's feeding back on itself, which is great for this track because it's called feedback loops, and so we're trying to get those lots of feedback loops going on, I guess. And then, of course, the actual effects channel itself is going to send to that dedicated 1/8 echo tape delay. And I've got a control for that on the iPad as well, so we can have that on full and it'll just make it keep going and feed back on itself. So we can have feedback upon feedback upon feedback. Play around with that for hours. Okay, so let's kill the effects. Still so many controls. Okay, turn that down. We don't want to be going too far with that. Let's put that back up. Okay, so kick, drums, no open hat, no sample drums, filter on the kick. Okay, so let's start. I'm just going to record now. Alrighty, so So I got a new bulb. If you were watching on Tuesday, the bulb had gone. So I looked like what are those informants on a crime show who don't want to be recognised, so you couldn't really see me with the light from the back. But now this thing, too blooming bright or too low, can't win. That'll do. Okie dokie, so let's get dual screens up so you can see the recording and the clips being triggered. Should be able to see what's going on here. I got myself a little cheap 20 quid laptop stand, so I've brought up the Alias 8 MIDI controller so you can see it. You can't see the expansions that well, unfortunately you can't see them at all, but it does help. It's a bit more reachable. I can leave the mic where it is so I can work around it. We're just going to build, get this better bit by bit, and hopefully by the end of the year we've got an amazing setup. Okay, so let's get cracking. So record and start. Oops, I missed the end there. So I'm just going to trim that last extra bit off because that wasn't supposed to happen. Got the timing wrong. Okay, so hold on, what's going on there? Cool, that'll do. Okie dokie, so let's save that. Feedback loop. Take 2. Save that. And let's go back here. So you don't have to see my messing about over here. Okay, cool. Brilliant. So let's go back to screen 2. Do our review. Okay, what worked with that stream? That take. The answer phrase with 303 and capital letters, repro 1 keys. I like that because with the rounds part, that's quite constant. Let me turn these effects down. It's annoying. The rounds part is quite constant. Let's just go back to this. I'm just going to take it out of the actual track. And I was doing that with 3. It's a short phrase. Excuse me. But with the repro 1 part, it lengthens the phrase and it gives us a better place to put the 303. So it completes that phrase, question, answer. And that's what it's about, you know, question and answer phrasing. So I was really happy with that, the way that worked. What didn't work is I wasn't focusing on the effects and the feedback loops, which is the whole point of this track. So not using not enough. Can't really see with this light. Get really bright now. I'm going to change this bulb this week. Not enough effects use for feedback loops. Sorry, this keyboard's so noisy. Okay, so options. What are the options? I need to get the. What was wrong was when I was showing you these bits earlier. So sending. So you've got lots of delay there. When I started, that wasn't happening. So the settings, I think, on the Big Sec 2, this VCA gate, which is here. Oh, hold on, let me show you. Too many buttons. So the VCA gate, which I have here, and the VCA depth here, seem to have the most effect on that delay tail. So take it all the way down. And the depth down. That's working now. Still getting used to this. I've been using this for months, but so frequency feedback. What's that for? And of course, delay feedback. That's the time. Let's turn all this down. Okay, so that's everything down, apart from the delay feedback. So if I turn the gate up, that's just modulating. So the VCA depth, that doesn't have any effect either. Without filter frequency, that doesn't have any effect. Distort. Ah. So there's your control. Now distort warp. It's determining how much comes through, so I need to remember that. Okay, so use Big Circ to distort warp control for effects depth. So that's what we need to do. We need to use that. So the frequency feedback I don't think has any effects. Let's try that again. Oops, let's go back to the track. Ah. That's interesting. That's nice. So the VCA depth, you have to forgive me, because I haven't spent the time to really investigate these. So once I set them up, I knew they did stuff, and I knew if by changing them around, it would have an effect on the effects. But I wasn't quite sure what each one was actually doing, and this has been going on for months. So thank you for letting me indulge myself in figuring this out, but I've just worked out this is that. So if I have VCA depth all the way up, and then the VCA gate is how much we're letting through, so it's becoming much more staccato. Much more rhythmic. So the VCA depth how much is coming through the gate. The higher that up goes, the smaller amount is coming through. And then the VCA gate is how much of that smaller part is coming through. So that's nice. And then we've got the portal control to adjust the sound a little bit. Okay, great. So we've got a little bit more fine control for the next take, which we'll do tomorrow. Won't be streaming that one live. As you know, I do Tuesday morning, Thursday morning, and Tuesday evening, Thursday evening. So 7:30 in the morning, 5:30 in the evening. That's UK time. Okay, so we've done that. We've used Big Sec 2 Distort Warp. I'm just going to make these notes a bit more detailed. So use Big Sec 2 colon VCA gate and depth plus distort warp control for effects depth. Great. Okay. So we've also got, let's do this again. We've also got the effects channel feeding back into itself. And then we can send that to the delay. And lots of different delay times we can overlap each other. Great. Stop. Cool. So we're not going to do another take now because we've already done that. I'm not sure what that means in the chat. I'm quite new to this. What can we do? I think we're going to call that a day. there's not much more to do other than another take, but I want to have kind of a fresh go of that tomorrow. I don't want to start doing that now. I just need to I've saved it, but I need to bounce it out, so make sure we turn off. So this button up here is basically if I just move see, when you move a MIDI control, that comes on saying that that control has been moved and it's no longer reading the automation for that control. So you need to make sure that one's switched off before bouncing out. And I've already saved, so I'm gonna just record. It's blooming light. I'm gonna get another bulb, and we're gonna bounce this out to our splurge folder. Splurge. And we're going to let that run. Okay. So, thanks for watching. And I will see you here tonight. I'm going to have I think I'm going to have a mix tonight at 5:30. I'm going to try and fit my setup up somehow in this tiny little room and get this camera set up so you can see, and try not to make it look too ridiculous. And we're going to play some tunes, play some of my tunes, I think, and also other people's. Have a mix for about an hour. By the way, if you want to hear some of my DJ stuff, then head over to SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/DarianJDJ. There's some mixes on there. They're getting quite a lot of plays now. The Berlin Brighton mixtape one is particularly popular, and I really enjoy putting that one together. That's 2 hours long. So, plus there's a mix for size sessions, which is also 2 hours long, and every track in that is one that I made last year, so and released. So an interesting listen, that one. So let me know what you think. Thanks for joining me. Don't forget to drop any questions or comments in the Twitch chat, or indeed under the video on Facebook or YouTube, and I will get to them all when I can. So thanks again. Take care, and I'll see you very soon.
And it collects even more snow.